Yun's really going to need to get a lot of zealots up, and I believe that's what he's going to do. Here we've got a engineering bay. One thing that Master hasn't needed at all in this game is engineering bay and turrets, and that's really cool that he has managed to get away with delaying that for so long. Usually Terran players just get the turrets as just like a knee-jerk reaction to your opponent picking Protoss, because you know that there's so much danger that can be avoided by just having turrets. But because he scouted with his Vulture early, he didn't need it, because he saw exactly what Yun was up to, and he countered that appropriately with Wraiths having already invested in the starport for the dropship, and that's the way you do it. Anyway, a lot of tanks out in the midfield. They're possibly threatening to push over to that weak point, that hitting the natural expansion point. But he's being bombed right now by zealots. This is looking pretty nasty, to be honest. This, of course, is one of the other drawbacks of not getting an engineering bay, or Goliaths, mind you, because you get just bombed. And I think that Master needs to get either a Goliath at this point, or set up a single turret. Oh my god, he lost 2 tanks! He shouldn't be losing tanks like that to just zealot bombs. This is not the best play that I like to see, unfortunately. But we have got 5 factories down, no third base yet, so Master is probably thinking about putting in some kind of offensive. I'm not too sure where, though. Maybe in that point that he did last, but we've got a lot of zealots now, and with no vultures or mines out in the field, this is starting to look a bit silly. I think Master needs to really reposition himself better, get some turrets up, and start. But here come the vultures finally, laying some mines, so this is good. Yun's got a pretty serious force out in the field here. He's got that shuttle loaded back up with more zealots, and he's probably going to start bombing again, and we still don't have a turret up, and we still don't have any Goliaths really to prevent this from happening, so the tanks have done siege, and this makes Master very vulnerable. He is in serious danger of just being attacked head-on by the Protoss, because if he sieges up, he just gets hit by zealots. In fact, Yun could actually send his whole force in, pretend like he's attacking, forcing Master to siege up. That's when he lands the zealots and just runs away with his main force. I mean, he could do that if he wanted. So, or even just move the Dragoons in range to kill the mines and use that to force them. But these mines themselves, by the way, are looking pretty scary. As soon as those zealots get dropped, the mines start lifting off, and if those mines were dragged into the tanks, that could be disastrous for Master. Oof. So 4th base going down for the Protoss. The Terrans have got their 3rd base up in the mineral only, so pretty standard development in terms of teching, well, not teching, but expansion. We've got speaking of tech, we've got the Templar archives going down for Yun in his base. Large group of Protoss forces getting ready to attack, and this could be a serious attack here. Yes, it is. The Zealots actually taking all of the mines straight in the face, and heading straight in here, and it doesn't look like Master has that many troops here to hold us off, and his tanks aren't sieged, of course. Zealots are picking them off straight into combat there, and this is actually looking pretty bad for Master. He's got a few more tanks. In fact, he's got 5 more tanks in support. But again, he's just being overrun by zealots because he doesn't have enough vultures to pick them off and create a wall here. So pulling SCVs off the line, this is not looking that great. At least he's managed to finally defend here, but I think this is just sloppy play from him in general. The whole sort of period of the early game, I've been very impressed with Master's play, but this whole mid-game is where it seems to be breaking down, and he's just making a lot of choices which don't really sit well with me. Maybe he had some particular reason for doing it, but I mean, other really good players don't tend to make these sorts of mistakes, and that's a bit disappointing for me, but maybe he can redeem it with some really fantastic play later on. I'm sure he's capable of it, given what he's demonstrated to us so far. Just scanning there to see what the Protoss forces are doing, notices that they're retreating, so he's heading back up the ramp, trying to get some position, gaining some ground again. The Protoss player, of course, has a lot of observers around the map, so he knows full well what's going on. He's really covered his ground in terms of that. And tanks sieging up in good positions. He's spread them out. Still got no turrets, so that sucks. But it ought to be pointed out that you can't actually build turrets on that type of terrain. You've got to move your tanks down the ramp to that sort of grey, rocky sort of area, and that's the only position where you can actually build turrets. Is it just me, or, I mean, maybe does anybody else feel that they're sort of sick of Casper releasing Twilight maps? I mean, like 90% or something of the maps, or 80%, are all Twilight. I probably make this complaint quite often, but I'm just sort of going to put it out there while I'm waiting for stuff. Well, stuff's happening right now. I should probably be talking about it. Vultures are streaming in there, but luckily Yun has a lot of troops there as well as the photon cannon. His army is getting scarily large right now. Those vultures picked off a few probes, so that was worth it, but unfortunately he didn't get as many kills as he would have liked. Got 3 bases rolling along. He needs to be going for his 4th now that he's actually camped along the ridge in the middle. But Dragoon's starting to pick off mines, and this is starting to look threatening. Possibly looking to go for a full-on attack here. Yes, he is. This is committed here, guys, but we've got, storms going off all over the tanks and over a lot of the vultures as well. So really nice storms here by Yun. And this is actually giving him the momentum he needs to actually push over the Terran force. He's lost a lot of troops, though, and we've still got a staunch Terran tank position there. And, this looks like it might break off and fail. Yeah, Yun's been forced to retreat. But that was a pretty evenly matched battle, despite Yun eventually losing. Both players lost a lot of forces, and when the Protoss trades off forces with the Terrans like that, it usually comes out in favor of the Protoss, because then the Terrans so the timer is reset, so to speak, on when he could push out. And, this looks nasty. Shuttle coming in with High Templars, storms all over the SCVs, all over them, and no attempt whatsoever to pull the SCVs back. That was the nastiest storm of the game so far, and of probably the last 5 or 10 games that I've seen, to be honest, because, oh my god, Master lost just about all of his SCVs there, so trying to counterattack by moving vultures into the probes and getting a lot of kills there, and this is actually kind of sloppy here that the Archons of the High Templars have been allowed to form an Archon there and actually get even more kills on a tank and some more SCVs. On is streaming the SCVs back without killing the Archon, so that could be disastrous. Sorry guys, just getting a bit sort of over here, a bit flummoxed. That's what happens when you sort of talk for 20 minutes straight. But we've got arbiters being produced now, stasis field being researched. So this is starting to look really deadly. We've got 4 bases for the Terran player. Mind you, 1 base has pretty much been entirely emptied of SCVs, and he probably mined his main out by now. So we've got sort of 2 bases worth of SCVs spread out over 3 bases, and that's the kind of economy that the Terran has right now. Protoss looking to take the 6 by securing it with a pylon, and after that some photon cannons, no doubt. Protoss forces in the middle here going to try and intercept the vultures, but mines being laid down there nonetheless. Vultures heading down south, picking off a probe on the way. Looks like they'll be able to pick up the probe at 6 o'clock as well. They won't be able to kill the pylon, but very nice mines there. That's going to delay that Protoss expansion for a little bit. Heading around, trying to avoid these Protoss forces here and going to the bottom right. Hopefully they can get some kills there, but nice pylon wall there by Yun prevents it from happening. Vultures get boxed in. The observer shows up in time, and Yun is playing this very well. He's really minimizing his casualties from this kind of vulture harass, and he's keeping the Terran slowed down by attacking every so often with a large force while maintaining his economy and taking up to arbiters. So this is, I've got to say this, guys, this is textbook Protoss play, and if you play Protoss, this is probably the way to do it on this sort of map. I mean, the Terran, that was nice. Oh, did you see that? Vultures with mines perfectly laid out there, and this looks to be the kind of redeeming play that I was talking about Master actually needing to exhibit to come back into this game, and getting kills like that is what he needs to do. Let's have more play like that, and maybe Master will be able to take this game, hopefully being Terran. Of course, go the Terrans. Terrans. We've got, this looks nasty, we've got a shuttle loaded up again with more Zealots and more High Templars, so maybe we'll see a nasty repeat performance of what we saw earlier on with that total SCV genocide. But oh my god, we've got vultures coming into the natural here, and they're being distracted by the photon cannon. Luckily there's an arbiter above the probes, and a lot of probes have had their lives saved. Their pitiful lives have been saved by that arbiter. putting that invisibility field over everything. Protoss forces have prevented that 12 o'clock from going up, but this, looks to be a fight here, and I'm not liking the position for Master at all. This is bad. No, pull back, don't fight here. This is nasty because there are mines all the way right through these forces here. We've got troops heading through, now, as I said, Master needs to pull back. We've got, he's doing the right thing here, pulling up the ramp. He needs to siege up and get in position right above the mines, and not in a position where the zealots can hit and the dragoons can flank him very easily. And sieging up in a better position here, so with the ridge supporting him, things are looking a lot better, and the minefield right in front. So at this point, we're going to be looking at Yun capturing all of the mines there with the zealot, looking nasty. So this is probably going to mean that Yun will have to hang back a bit. He's got 2 Stargates now pumping out arbiters. Well, only one of them is pumping out arbiters, but before long he'll have quite a lot of arbiters, and that's